So thank you all for joining me today. That was the worst intro. Let's run that back. Thank you all for coming. This month we are talking about trust. And so today we wanted to kind of like get your take on trust and kind of open up this discussion for the month. And so to the first question I want to ask is, would you trust anyone to pick out a tattoo for you?
Oh.
It depends on the person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who would you pick out?
It's my sister, probably, because I have a Pinterest board and we share it, so everything I put, she likes. Everything she puts, I like. So if she picked one, I'd probably like it.
I'd choose my mom.
Yeah?
Well, actually,
your mom?
No. My mom, like, she'd be, like, picking stuff out. I'm just like, yeah, no. No.
I
But
picked my mom, but then I was like, but our style is not the same.
The person has to like match my style.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, I don't trust you.
Would you trust me to pick a tattoo out for you?
Honestly, I would, because here's what I think about you.
Okay.
I think you'd be like, haha, let's put something funny on there. But then last minute, you'd be like, oh no, I'm gonna ruin this kid's life. Let's not do that.
Have you ever trusted yourself and let yourself down because you trusted yourself too much?
Every day.
Back at home, growing up, like there was a phase where I was very, very into golf. And like golf was just everything to me. And so I would be like around the house, like chipping and all that. And sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna chip it over the house. And dude, Mom, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. There have been a few windows that have been cracked.
Sometimes I won't do my homework at night, so I'm like, okay, I'll set an alarm at 4:30 a.m. and wake up. And I don't wake up until like 7:30.
Never.
See, I developed such a bad habit for doing that like even in college, like that's how I wrote a 10-page paper one morning.
Would you consider yourself to be a trusting person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you trust people easily?
Oh, I think do people trust you?
Do you trust other people easily? You find it easy to trust others?
It depends on like what it is. Like if it's a small thing, then yeah, I'll trust somebody with that. But if it's a bigger thing that has a larger impact on like my life or other people's lives, then sometimes I don't really feel comfortable with people taking the entire, like me putting all my trust into one person.
School projects were always really hard for me. I was like, I never trusted people to do their part. So like low key in the background, like I was doing everybody else's part, and when people were like, oh, sorry, I didn't do it, I was like, it's okay, I prepared for this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you were the guy that wasn't doing anything.
No, history class. I didn't have anybody in like my American history class that I could trust that would like type out this paragraph. So I would always type it out just in case. And of course, every morning I'm like, hey, did you do it? And they're like, no. I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. So
What situations do you find it hardest to trust others in?
I feel like when a lot's going on and you, I don't know, you like want everyone to like almost think you're okay. So you like don't want to open up because you're like, oh gosh, they're not gonna think I'm okay. So you like just want to keep it to yourself because you're like, they'll tell other people and then everyone's gonna know, stuff like that.
I think just like if you're struggling, just like with life, kind of you were talking about like not being willing to like open up about certain things, and it's different for everybody. Like whether it's like, you know, whether it is like porn or whether it is like, you know, drinking or whatever, it's so hard to open up because the devil will isolate you and use against you, because that's what happened in Genesis, you know, when you know, they sinned, he isolated them. He isolated Adam and Eve. He separated them. He separated them from God and made sure that they were alone, because that's where he can attack you the easiest. Isolation is like one of the key factors to like trust. If you're feeling isolated, it's super hard to, you know, trust in God.
Maybe it's me, but I really struggle believing that like people really do like care about me. Like, I really struggle with feeling like when someone says that they love me, it's like, do you really love me? Or like, if a friend says like, man, I'm gonna show up for you, and then they don't show up, it's like, man, how am I supposed to trust you, like, to come back in to like my heart to be able to say like, yeah, I'm gonna give you another shot.
I really can relate to that. A lot of times I feel like like for like little things, like sometimes like, oh, like I really like love how you do this. Sometimes it's hard for me to believe them. And I think it just like stems from like being scared of like trusting people because you've been hurt before. But like you're saying, it's just life. You can't expect to have like these expectations that people are always gonna be there for you because everyone's human. Like it's not perfect, but yeah, I agree with you.
This summer, my dad had a heart attack and almost died. And I didn't know if he was gonna wake up. When I was thinking about trust, that was the moment that like, I remember being in my car and getting the phone call and thinking, God, you have to do this. Like, there's no other way. Like, he literally was asleep for 4 days. We really didn't know if he was gonna wake up. And having this moment of like, God, I'm really trusting you because I cannot will myself through this. Like, I cannot will myself to make sure that my dad wakes up. Only you can do that. And I had always kind of said before, like, all right, well, God, if you don't do this for me, I'll still believe that you're good. Like, I think we think that, but in that moment, I really had to like wonder, like, will I still believe that you're good if my dad doesn't wake up? And it really challenged me to like look at that at a new level and say like, you know what? You need him more than I do if he doesn't wake up. Like, he needs to be in heaven. He needs to be with you if he doesn't wake up. And I was really fortunate that my dad did wake up. But I know people who have really similar stories whose dads didn't wake up. And to be able to like look at the way that they see the faithfulness of God and still trust that God is gonna provide for them, I think is really like miraculous and just shows such a crazy level of faith.
I think it was like hard to trust my parents when they said that we were gonna move to America because like we were gonna leave our whole like life behind, and like it was hard. It's a hard change, and like we didn't like know if we were gonna struggle here or if it was good for us. Like it took a lot of trust.
I love this verse in the Bible. It says, the person who trusts in the Lord is like a tree planted by the streams whose roots reach down into the water. And I guess my question is, where do you reach when you need encouragement and when you need hope? Like what's your instinct? Like who do you or what do you reach out to?
Well, I like to reach out to my sister because she's like 4 years older than me, so everything I'm going through, she already went through. So I like struggle with like self-esteem issues or something through high school, and she always knows what to say, and it like helps me realize that like you're really like not alone. No matter how alone you think, there's always somebody else out there who understands what you're going through.
Like on Thursday, it was me, Michael, Gloria, and Miriam, and we were just sitting in my car, and we were just talking about like stuff that we were like thinking about. And like at first, like when I was talking, I was like, oh my God, like I probably sound so silly. Like I'm the only one going through this, but like legit, we were like all talking about this same exact thing. I was like, oh my God, we'd swim with our problems. And so like it's kind of like, I feel like when you like kind of get over that like that fear of like going out to talk to people like about what you're struggling with, it kind of like you can feel at ease because you realize that everyone's going like through the same exact thing. Yeah. It might be like a little bit different, but that like going back to trust, like you just finding people that you trust to just talk about how you feel is honestly another way that I really love to just unload my mess.
Thank you all for sharing. I think I just want to like wrap this up with saying like, I know for myself that yes, God has given me so many great people in my life that have gone through similar things as me, who know the perfect thing to say. But I've just noticed that when I like lean into God and like go to Him, it seems like sometimes the weight of my lack of trust kind of goes like its weightiness goes away, and the issue just feels less weighty. I don't know how else to describe it, but I know like God He may be the toughest person to trust sometimes, just being honest, but I know He's never let me down, and I hope that at the end of the day, like you guys can say the same thing of like, I know like He will never leave me or forsake me, and He's always for me. And so I hope you guys leave here just feeling like reinvigorated to keep trusting in God, even when you don't see Him moving or see the situations and the circumstances in your life changing, that you know that He has not forgotten about you and that He does see you and He's with you in the toughest moments. But again, I really do appreciate you all sharing everything that's gone in your life, and this is a great conversation.
We believe in the youth! We hope you enjoyed that video. Honestly, we create content like this just for you, and whether you're engaging with your friends and your family, or whether it's just with the comments below, we would love for you to continue to do that. Make sure you subscribe, click that bell for notifications, and we hope to see you at the next video. Love you.